All right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel, guys. It is time for yet another review of a pretty new knife from Civivi, and this one comes from White Mountain Knives. That is right. My buddy over there, Justin, I'm an affiliate with him, and if I ask him to send me a knife, he does, man. He sent me this one to check out, and it's really cool. This is the Civivi Button Lock Elementum 2. So say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powdered Toast Man and Login TV and Choo Choo, and let's get started. There you go, the Button Lock Elementum 2, OD green, G10 handle, black stonewash, Nitro V blade. There is a pouch in there, but we're not going to go through all that. You guys pretty much know the drill with Civivi. Now, you guys know I've done a review on a regular Elementum. I've done a review on the original Button Lock Elementum. So there's a couple comments with that, and we'll get there in a moment. But this is the Button Lock Elementum 2. Now, this one is, unfortunately, in my opinion, the size of the original Elementum, not the size of the Button Lock Elementum, the original, which they made bigger. And I loved it. I wish they had done this one that size. I think we all would have liked it better, but who knows? I mean, I know a lot of people like the smaller EDC size, and that's fine. So you do have the checkered, textured G10 here that Civivi uses a lot. Green, chamfered around the edges, nice flat scales. You do have a cutout for the lanyard hole in the back spacer, in the liners. You don't have a back spacer, you have two barrel spacers there. Black liners, you do have quite a bit of weight reduction inside. There you go. And you have a pretty standard, I tried to go for the liner lock there, that's funny, pretty standard Civivi clip all the way up to the tip pretty much, and no way to flip it to the other side. Very interesting choice. Again, the lanyard loop is cut in out of the scales, so that's an interesting choice as well. Decent clip, not a big problem in the hand. You do feel it. So, by the way, we should show that first. You do have a flipper tab with appropriate jimping. Decent, again, button locks don't really have a detent to speak of. It's a little different. So you can see I can fail it. Well, I did twice, but then I didn't. There you go. But if you just mean it and grab that jimping in a light switch, it is going open. Can't really push button this one. You do have a good sharpening choil, no finger choil. Good sharpening choil, plunges way back here. Drop point blade, swedge up here, and jimping up here. Very thin blade. We'll go over the specs in just a moment. Is running on bearings. There is quite a bit of side-to-side wiggle. Can you hear it? Let's see. I'll go back here by the mic. Yeah, you can't really hear it, but it's there. And this is a very hollow ground blade. Very nicely done in that hollow grind. I like it a lot. You can see that. Black stonewash, as we talked about. And this is Nitro V on the steel. Not any kind of markings on the blade except Nitro V right there. Tiny little print. Button does, well, when it's locked, the button sticks up a little bit, but not bad. You do have a recess cut out there. All the hardware is recessed. Very nice. So, action-wise, let's talk about that. I didn't expect there's a lot of bounce back. I don't really care for that. You can manipulate it and let go at a certain time if you get the timing right, but it's not nearly as smooth and fidgety as I had hoped. Do you see that? Even when I throw it, you can see it's got a little bit, not a grind, but kind of a, I don't know. You saw there it dropped really well, almost too well. So it's hard to say. Sometimes it feels stiffer and sometimes it feels better. So I'm not sure what that's all about. But it's good. Now, it is a 4-finger knife, but just. I wish there was a little more room. Like I said, if they went with the size of the original Button Lock Elementum, that would have been cool. Now, why is there a second Button Lock Elementum? Well, go watch my video on the original Button Lock Elementum, and you'll find out why. There was no flipper. The only way you could open this knife, that knife, was literally with the button to sit here and do this silliness. Not a fan at all. So they've gone back and they did what the fans asked for. And, you know, it's a good knife. It's a very good knife. It feels good in the hand. Very cool. Now let's talk about availability and specs. And I haven't even looked to see if it's available. So I got it from White Mountain Knives, so I'm obviously going to talk about it from there. And currently it is not available, but I'm sure he will be getting more. There are 3 versions. The black G10 handle for $65. The green G10 handle with the black blade. By the way, that one was black blade as well for $65. And then a satin finish blade with Jade G10. None of those are available right now, but it would be $65 if they were, and 10% off for code KnivesFAST at White Mountain Knives. Thank you, Justin, again for sending this one along for me to check out. Now let's talk about specs, and then we'll do our comparison. So this guy is 7.06, so it's, again, short, and that's not a big deal, but again, when you have a flipper, you give up your place to choke up. You give up the idea. Everybody asks me why my knives don't have, like the microburst, why it doesn't have a flipper. Because if you put a flipper there, that takes away that finger choil area. So now you're back here, and that's all you get. So that's my only thing. Again, it's not bad in the hand. I just wish I could choke up a little bit. That's all. It is 4.11 inch on the close length, 2.96 on the blade, which is a fine size blade. No problem with that. Nitro V steel, plain edge. It is 3.12 ounces, which is absolute perfection on that. So let's move a couple of things and do our size comparison. The Ontario Rat 1 is going to be significantly larger. The Ontario Rat 2 is going to be about the same size, pretty close. Might be the Rat 2 might have a little more handle. That's one thing. The blade to handle ratio on the Button Lock Elementum is right out to that end there. Very nicely done in that regard. By the way, this guy is centered very nicely. Again, there's that side-to-side blade play. No, somebody asked me if I'd tested that one with the spine tap, and no, I have not, because it's not my knife, and we're not going to do that. So, very cool. This is an excellent knife for a basic EDC. Again, you might be able to find them elsewhere, but I'm not sure, and I know White Mountain will have them again soon. I bet you very much he will. So really cool knife. I'm glad I got to check it out. This will be going back to Justin at White Mountain. And guys, I want to thank you so much for your support of the channel. Let me know what you think of this knife down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, and thanks for watching the KnivesFAST channel.